The 3 Amazon blind spots your reports won't show you. Your Amazon reports might look complete. Your P&L, your Seller Central reports, your ad dashboards, your agency deck, they all show numbers, but they still might be hiding 3 risks that actually hurt your business. The ones that don't show up until the damage is already done. Reports are not the same as answers. Here's the uncomfortable truth about most Amazon reporting. It's built to tell you what happened. It's not built to explain why it happened. Your P&L can tell you profit is down. What it can't automatically tell is whether your organic demand quietly weakened, whether one hero ASIN is now carrying the entire business, whether Amazon's fees crept up without anyone noticing, whether your ad spend is starting to replace organic growth instead of adding to it, or whether a slow-moving problem is building right now, well before it becomes the kind of thing that shows up on a scary number on next quarter's P&L. More reports don't fix this. More dashboards don't fix this. What fixes this is asking the right 3 questions on a schedule before the damage compounds. To reframe, you don't need more dashboards. Here's the reframe I want you to sit with. You probably don't need another dashboard. You don't need a small number of answers. You need a check every single month. Most Amazon advice out there is built for optimizers, the people adjusting bids, chasing ACoS, and pulling levers inside the ad account day to day. That work matters, and someone needs to be doing it, but it's not the owner's job. And it was never supposed to be. The P&L owner's job is different. Is the business getting healthier or not? Where is risk quietly hiding right now? And what should I be asking the people managing my account on our next call? Section 1, blind spot, ad dependency score. The first blind spot is ad dependency. How much of your growth did you actually earn, and how much of it did you rent? Here's a trap. Your P&L shows sales as one single number, but 2 brands can post the exact same sales number and be in completely different health. One brand's growth might be mostly organic, driven by rank, repeat purchases, and real brand demand. And another brand's growth might be almost entirely propped up by paid traffic. The ad dependency score measures ad attributed sales divided by total sales calculated per ASIN and tracks whether that dependency is climbing or easing month for month. Revenue can look perfectly stable while the quality of that revenue is quietly getting worse underneath it. The agency question. Here's the kind of question this actually gives you to bring to your agency. The hero's ASIN ad dependency jumps while sales stay flat. The right question isn't, is ACoS okay? The right question is organic rank slipping on this product, or are we deliberately investing in paid traffic right now to push rank? A good answer names the reason and has a plan attached to it. A weak answer just hides behind the ACoS number. Section 2, the second blind spot is catalog concentration. How much of your business rides on a small handful of products? For a lot of Amazon brands, most of the revenue and often even more of the profit comes from a few hero ASINs. That's not automatically a problem. What's dangerous is not knowing it or not knowing whether that concentration is increasing month for month. Catalog concentration measures how much of the business is carried by your top ASINs and tracks whether that dependency is rising or easing over time. And it makes one critical distinction that changes everything. Concentration can rise because your heroes are winning, which is often healthy, or because the rest of your catalog is quietly collapsing underneath them, which is the real risk. The agency question: if your top 3 ASINs suddenly carry a bigger share of the business than they used to, you need to know why. A rising top 3 share can mean your winners are winning even harder, or it can mean your tail is dying off. Those are opposite stories that require completely different responses. The question for your agency is, are we comfortable with this level of dependency? And what actually happened to the rest of the catalog? Section 3, blind spot, fee, and margin drift. The third blind spot is a fee and margin drift. Is Amazon quietly taking more of every single dollar you make? Your P&L usually shows Amazon fees as one total lump. That lump total almost never shows you the slow creeping happening underneath it. Referral fees shift a little. FBA fulfillment costs shift a little. Storage fee costs shift. Returns tick up. Refund admin costs move. Ad load creeps higher. No single line item on its own ever looks dramatic enough to trigger alarm bells. But add all of those small moves together, going in the same direction, and they can quietly take real margin away from you over the course of the year. The fee and margin drift skill adds up. Amazon's total take as a share of your sales tracks how that moved month for month and year over year, identifies exactly which bucket moved the most, and annualize the drift into a dollar figure so it actually feels real instead of abstract. The agency question. This turns a vague complaint like Amazon fees are up into a much sharper question. Which specific fee bucket moved? And why did it move? And is it something we can actually control? An FBA increase might come from a fee schedule change out of your control, or it might come from packing, size tier, or product mix changes that are entirely fixable. Storage might just be seasonal, or it might mean you've got aged inventory sitting around. A good answer separates what's generally controllable from what's simply plannable. How the monthly self-check works. Here's the point of all this. You're not trying to run a full audit every single month. You're building a small, repeatable habit that catches slow-moving problems while they're still small and fixable. Each month, you export the reports you need. You run the 3 checks, you read the plain English verdicts, and you bring the 3 resulting questions to your next agency call. Think about it. A 15-minute monthly ritual. Export this month and last month's data. Run the 3 checks and walk into that call already asking sharper questions than anyone expects. Your first month becomes your baseline. By month 3, you've got a real trend to look at, not just a single snapshot. Section 5, DIY versus system. The manual version of this is generally useful, but it does have real limits, and I want to be upfront about them. The toolkit gives any brand owner a way to start today with reports they already have access to, but manual checks depend entirely on your own discipline. They only run when you remember to run them. They don't watch your account in the weeks between checks. They don't scale cleanly if you're managing multiple brands or multiple accounts. And they don't create any kind of alerting or audit trail on their own. That's the exact line where a good monthly habit needs to graduate into an actual system. One that's watching continuously instead of waiting for you to remember. If you want to run this yourself, download the monthly Claude Amazon self-check in the description. It includes all 3 ready-to-use skills and full walkthrough. Start with the toolkit, run it once a month, and bring those 3 questions to your next agency. And if you outgrow the manual version and want these blind spots watched automatically, that's where we come in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.